Oh, yeah, Ryan. The madness has officially started. Phil and Rye on Listen Up. Actually, Ryan, I wanted to point out to you, go ahead and make sure you do yourself a favor, Ryan, and follow me at pvacera721. That's at pvacera721. Man, I'll tell you what, reactions. There's nothing like instant game recap reactions, and that's what we have here for you on this Saturday evening. As the UConn Huskies advance to the second round, Ryan, final score 95-52. And, a lot of people, my takeaway from this right off the bat, man, this was a game, and go figure, who was the first points from? AZ Fudd, 2-0, right? AZ Fudd. This was a game that had it all. And you told me this even before we started recording. I mean, this game had offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, both teams shooting a ball very well from 3-point range. And the biggest takeaway I have from this, two things. A lot of people might say, well, it's Vermont. They put up 95. UConn could do that easily. Because if you followed this team, remember it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago that I said, well, they're going to put up a 95 spot or over 90 points on St. John's. And they lost the game. All right. They lost the game. Was that St. John's, Ryan?
I think so. Yeah.
So, and that's my point here. So what a difference it makes when you have that depth and healthy players for once, coming in, putting up 95. So I think that's a big accomplishment right there, 95. Getting back to Huskies basketball, right? Secondly, before you go, this here will provide you with all that you need as far as going down the stretch, what to expect when you have Dorka Juhas and Aaliyah Edwards, right? The transition, if you paid attention, when you had Aaliyah Edwards out from the 3-point range, Dorka Juhas, and then when Gino would flip them out on the outside, you had Dorka and then Aaliyah Edwards down low. Talk about Aaliyah Edwards today. But that's a mismatch. And what's good news for the UConn program and the diehard fans, all UConn Huskies fans, Ryan, I'm not so sure. I'm thinking about one team, and I think we all know who that is. I'm not so sure if a lot of teams can match up to the height. Now, I know Purdue lost. All right, don't get me started on that. But the height, I don't know if a lot of teams, and this is a very good sign, I don't know if a lot of teams, Ryan, are going to be able to match up with Aaliyah Edwards and Dorka Juhas, especially, look what this game did. The 3-point ball. What have I been telling you all season long? Ryan? If you're going to guard inside, if UConn is going to shoot the lights out from 3-point range like that, no stopping them. There's one team in my mind that I have, but there's no stopping them.
Well, I think that's what we've been saying all season long is Aaliyah and Dorka inside. And it was frustrating at times during the season when they just couldn't dominate like we're used to them seeing, or that we think that they can. And like we saw today, they did dominate for pretty much the whole entire game. But I mean, it was frustrating at times during the season when Aaliyah and or Dorka just couldn't get going inside. But they certainly did today, and the whole entire team did. It was really fun to watch. Really fun to watch for us UConn Husky fans today. Complete domination from the tip all the way to the end of the game. But AZ Fudd did replace Aubrey Griffin in the starting lineup. Aubrey came off the bench in today's game. And like you said, AZ started us off very quickly and got the first bucket of the game. Mm-hmm. UConn started the game on a 10-2 run. And like I said, it was pretty much dominated from then on out. Lou drained a 3 as well. Dorka and Aaliyah got started really early in the game, too. Dorka got a steal. Aaliyah got out in transition and got an and one play. Fantastic play. And that's something as well I hope we see a lot more of throughout this whole entire tournament. Getting out in transition, hustling harder than the other team. Get out running in front of the opposition. Nika also made a 3 in the first quarter. And like you kind of said, I think UConn's 3-point shooting is another crucial part of their offense that can't be forgotten. AZ, Caroline, Dorka, even Nika, they can all shoot the 3 ball, and it's important they knock down those shots when they do get open from downtown. But UConn finished the quarter on a 9-2 run. UConn already up 27-12 at the end of one. Vermont really had a hard time trying to guard Dorka inside the paint in the second quarter. It was all Dorka Juhas to start the second quarter. Vermont is just really undersized. And again, I say this a lot, but there's just not many teams that can guard both Aaliyah and Dorka, or just let alone one of them. Nika proved again why she's the Big East Defensive Player of the Year. She got a scoop and score, or a steal and score rather. Aaliyah Edwards again, but it was just incredible in the first half and the second half as well. But 8 of 8 shooting in the first half, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. There's just not much she didn't do in this game. Dork was also spectacular inside, and really just the whole team giving an all-out effort on defense. Huskies up 53-20 on the Catamounts at the end of the second quarter, their largest lead at the half of any game this season. And really quickly in the second half, it was just all UConn again. Huskies, they couldn't really do anything wrong today. Completely dominated from the tip. Catamounts, Vermont, they just didn't really have enough firepower to compete with UConn. It was good to see the subs for UConn play during the fourth quarter. Ayana scored a couple points. Ines and Amari scored as well. Caroline even went on a little run and ended up scoring 12 points. But like I said, everybody for UConn got involved today, and it was good to see them enjoying themselves, having fun out there. The energy was high. The competitiveness was really high today and backed by the home crowd. So I hope they saved a little bit of points for their matchup on Monday, either against Bama or Baylor. But UConn wins this one in very convincing fashion, 95-52.
Just a couple of things. So Aaliyah Edwards dominated in UConn's win right over Vermont today. Listen to this, Ryan, to fill a stat sheet up. 28 points, career high. 13 for 15 on field goals, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks.
Incredible. Yeah, and Dorka as well. Dorka had another double-double too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, the UConn Huskies will advance and either play the winner, Ryan, of what, Baylor or Alabama. Can't wait to see you all back here for the last check-in as we await who the UConn Huskies will play in the second round. Ryan, also Vermont's head coach goes on. Aaliyah Edwards commented in the post-game press conference, we didn't have an answer for her. All right. Again, just to understand, hats off to Vermont. They tried their best. But my bigger point here is, I mean, especially with everything, I don't know if I'm surprised or not surprised that I'm going to this length with everything that this team has been through this season and us following them game after game, last check-ins, right? Last check-ins are very important as well. I don't think that it's only a specific problem, and we all know it's not just a specific problem for Vermont, all right? I think it's a problem until possibly the Final Four, the national championship game. You know, I mean, that's just the way I see it. And listen to this. I thought you would think that this is very interesting, Ryan. Aaliyah Edwards joins Tiffany Hayes as the only players to post 25-5-5 stat line, shoot above 85% in NCAA tourney since the year, guess what year? 2000.
Unreal. Yeah, it's just really just incredible. You really can't say that much about or anything else about Aaliyah this season. You know, we've spoken so high of her this whole season. It's just incredible how much she has improved, doubled her points and rebounding from the year before. She's done it all season long, but she definitely saved her best for this game. And hopefully there's a lot more to see out of Aaliyah Edwards. I wanted to bring this up too. I talked about the bench and everybody getting involved. I'm not sure if this is the first time this season or not, but UConn's bench outscored Vermont today 29-20. So I'm not sure if that's the first time the UConn's bench has outscored somebody, but they usually play 1 or 2 players. So there's a good chance that that's the first time that that's happened to any team this season. So just incredible. But a little scare from Lou. I think she'll be okay, but she did have a little fall there in the third quarter with her knee. She didn't play the rest of the second half just for precaution probably, but I think she'll be okay. Lou finished with 9 points. AZ struggled a little bit, only shot 1 for 8, 5 points. So hopefully she can get going in the next game. But like I said, an incredible
But
team
that's
win
totally
today from
fine.
UConn.
That's totally fine. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because you have Aaliyah Edwards, you have Dorka Juhas. I mean, I'm not sugarcoating it. You need AZ Fudd, but at the same time, man, when you put on a performance like this, it maybe this had to happen for AZ Fudd to step back, take a little break, and maybe you'll see more going in the second round and beyond. We hope. We just hope all the UConn recruits that haven't even unpacked their bags yet in Connecticut. We hope that all of these young ladies are watching. We hope that all these young ladies are watching these kind of performances, because these games are what has the word legend next to your name, for years to come. Am I wrong?
Yeah, and this is really just kind of the blueprint of UConn basketball, and the announcers kind of spoke of that a little bit today. The whole entire game is really just how UConn normally plays their basketball, which we haven't seen, at some points in the season with the fatigue, but you can definitely tell just kind of pretty much 2 weeks of rest, right, that UConn got between the Big East tournament and from this game today. But you can just really tell that UConn is definitely rested up. Still a long grind to get back to yet another Final Four for I think 18 straight seasons or something. But I think this is kind of just the roadmap or the blueprint, whatever you want to call it. I think UConn, it's very important for them to remember this game today. And if they play like this, I don't think there's any team that can beat them, but it's going to be hard to repeat this performance today.
It has seemed like 2 or 3 years since we've actually saw a dominating performance like this, something that most UConn Huskies fans are so used to seeing, right? They're so accustomed to seeing. With that said, again, we have Nika Mule. Talk about her stepping in as a starting point guard in place of Paige Beckers. I mean, Nika Mule, the fire she brings to basketball. And then you talk about Lou Lopez-Seneschal, and that was a steal. We said it way back when. I said it. That was a steal for this team, all right? And then we have Nika Mule, Lou Lopez-Seneschal, and how about Aubrey Griffin? All of these players, especially when they heat up from three-point range, oh my goodness. Now we can actually see how dangerous they can be. Will they be this dangerous in every game? I don't know. But now we see what they're capable of. We already knew it, but now we can see what they're capable of in this new season, right? Because you and I agreed, Ryan, this is a new season, okay? Once you turn the calendar to March, Ryan, this is a new season, all right? Let's get over to comments because they came through very well. Just time for 2 of them. Let's go, Mr. Jazz. How about time for a short one? You guys are a riot. Good analysis mixed with a side order of fun. So when I first saw that, you guys are a riot. All right, well, I don't know if he's criticizing Ryan and I or this is good news.
Well, I'll take it as a compliment. So thank you very much. We always try to have fun on the podcast whenever we can. But there's definitely times to be serious, definitely times to have a little fun. But today is one of those days where you definitely can have fun today, by about 40 points.
Today was a riot. All right. How about one more, Bond Riley? Just some history on the NCAA March Madness format. This has been the format for quite a few years. Selection Sunday, first games on Friday and Saturday. They are earlier now with the play-in games. Next round, Sunday and Monday, off again until the following weekend, Friday to Monday. Final Four is on following weekend, be it Saturday and Monday or Friday and Sunday, depending on men's finals. So, Ryan, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just start shouting out all the days in the week. Why don't you?
Well, yeah, and that's the same format, but I think what's different this season there's only 2 locations for the next round, I believe, after the first 2 rounds. I hope I'm saying this right. But they're only played in South Carolina, Greensboro, and the other one is Seattle, which is UConn. And then the Final Four, of course, is, I believe, played in Dallas this year. But yeah, just a couple tweaks, I think, to that. But I think it's the first time in quite a while, 06 or 07, that UConn's going to have to travel up north, I believe, which hopefully won't affect them too much. They're usually able to stay close to home, but I think they'll be okay.
How about, I'm not going to read this whole comment, not even his name, but just for the respect of it. Maybe he does want me to say his name, but I won't for now. This just stands out to me, the last sentence of his comment. But this team does not need Page to win it all. Oh my goodness. Oh my, Ryan, will you get the fire lit in UConn tonight?
Well, I mean, I guess we'll find out at the end of the
Oh
season
my.
whether they need her or not.
All right, Ryan, that does it. And as we await the next opponent, Ryan, for now, I will say a very good night to you, even though it's a little after 5 o'clock. I will go ahead and tell you good night as we have a big day ahead. Ryan, I will see you nice and early tomorrow under the bright lights for Arizona and Maryland Xfinity Center. Ryan, can't wait. It's been a pleasure. Again, UConn 95-52 over Vermont. Ryan, I'll see you in the second round.